Hey folks, today we're going to do a really short video on an ankle holster by Becko. This particular product allows, it's soft, and so it allows several different shapes of pistol. We'll show you both the M&P Shield, the Smith & Wesson Airweight, as well as the Ruger LCP. So for me, in wearing it, one of the things I like is the fact that it comes up not only tightly around the ankle, but also has another strap around the top of the calf, which really keeps the gun in place. Has a place for magazine, for an extra magazine, and just wearing it around seems very comfortable. It feels best to me, in testing it and using it for a little bit now, with either the Airweight revolver or the Ruger, just because of their size. So we're going to give you guys a chance to see this, and again, I'm not trying to expose my leg for any other reason than to show you the ankle holster. Now, one of the things that's important with any type of holster or any type of application for those of us who have license to carry concealed, is the gun needs to stay concealed. That's part of the requirement. An ankle holster for me would not be my first choice. I would choose either an inside the waistband holster or a holster, a pocket holster, particularly the Remora or something like that, that's going to keep that trigger covered, gun placed properly and accessible through my pockets. However, there's certainly a case that can be made for the ankle holster, particularly for law enforcement or people who have the need to have a backup gun, or even civilians. Some civilians want to have 2 or 3 guns in with them, and that's okay as well. What I found, though, is getting to an ankle holster requires that you actually move your body around, and we're going to demonstrate that. One of the most important things to take from this video right now, guys, is that if you get a holster like this, that you clear your weapon and then work any of the manipulations in terms of presentations dry. The other thing, super important, do not take a hot gun, a round chambered, and try to put it back into the holster. Take the holster off, put the gun in, again, muzzle pointing in the safe direction, all the firearm safety things that we talk about, but do that. Don't try to be stuffing it in, because that's when accidents happen, particularly with soft-sided holsters that give. So that point being made, let's take a quick look at the holster and how you get at or access your sidearm. To access the ankle holster, I've got to get my body in a position where I can get at it. The most effective technique, even though you lose mobility, is simply to come forward. And this is why ankle holsters are a little slower. Rip this up. I'm going to break the snap, pull up, and go ahead and present the weapon. Then I want to, immediately get back to my feet so I can move. So there are considerations that are important if you are using an ankle holster, and the biggest one is practice, and then the second one is this. When I'm practicing, even with a dry gun, I'm going to go ahead and remove the holster. I'm going to go ahead and reinsert the pistol, and then I'm going to put the holster back on. Well guys, that's a quick look at the Becko ankle holster. Again, I think it's mission specific. It is a good option to consider particularly for a backup weapon. And I have found it comfortable. I really like the fact that it has the upper strap around your ankles and the Velcro, which wraps around tightly to give you a really locked down feel of having the gun not flopping around. It is not as fast as a traditional inside the waistband holster or even a pocket holster for me. Also limited mobility, again, if we have to get into that position to access the gun, generally getting to one knee and getting at it is pretty much what's going to be required, and that limits your mobility and flexibility to leave a bad situation, right? So, quick perspective on the Becko ankle holster. Really appreciate you watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe.